he is some cardiovascular disorder patient. He is like, immediately when he goes to bed at night, what happens is he develops shortness of breath immediately after going to bed. So what does this clinch? Like, whenever he goes to bed, what happens leading to shortness of breath? Yes, we'll see that. What happens is immediately, so just 5 to 10 minutes after going to bed or immediately, what happens is he is a patient of cardiovascular disorder. So he has some edema in his legs, pedal edema. What happens is suddenly this edema fluids goes into the systemic circulation, which is the veins, vena cava. So this contributes to increased blood flow in the vena cava. That means increased blood is delivered to the right ventricle. That means increased blood, the left and right ventricle will pump more amount of blood to the lungs. Now this increased pressure in the pulmonary arteries of the lungs will cause, yes, pulmonary edema. So the patient will immediately sit up. Why he sits immediately? Because if he sits immediately, what happens is, see, if he sits and if he lies down, what happens is this edema fluid is distributed evenly throughout the lungs. So now he can't breathe properly. When he sits, what happens is, like this, the edema fluid will, according to gravity, will correspond to these areas. And some fluid will percolate again to the legs, causing exaggeration of pedal edema. So now his shortness of breath will improve. So this is one important clinical clincher, which means sudden onset of dyspnea after going to bed. This postural variation denotes eminent symptom, which is orthopnea. Okay, so ortho means straight. After becoming in straight supine position, this patient developed dyspnea. So this means that the patient is in advanced clinical cardiac failure stage. So that means NYHA classification is automatically stage 4 and he is in advanced cardiac failure. Okay, so this is one history clinches this many things. Okay, next thing, with respect to orthopnea, then everyone will say this PND. What is PND? Paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. What does this mean? Paroxysms, meaning this won't occur immediately as the patient goes to bed. The patient will go to bed. After some 2 to 3 hours after he goes to bed, what happens is, this is night time. In night, the two, when you are sleeping, your sympathetic system will be suppressed. So decreased sympathetic system means, what does adrenergic drive do to your heart? It will enhance your contractility. Now this contractility is missing here. Left ventricle can't contract properly. And if the patient is a cardiovascular disorder patient, then the blood will stay in left ventricle. Back pressure tends to rise. That means exudation of fluid in the alveoli, leading to development of alveolar edema. So at night, this sympathetic outflow reduction plays an important factor. Then, as we told, when it lies down, this edema fluid will slowly percolate into the IVC and right heart. See here, it percolates slowly. That means the patient is not in advanced stage, but the failure features have started in this patient. Okay, this symptom denotes that yes, the failure feature has started in this patient. Okay, then in night what happens? That too in REM sleep, or what happens is we will have some vivid dreams. Like the patient will experience some dreams where your heart rate might go increased. At that time, You might even develop some arrhythmias, atrial fibrillation with respect to MS. If AFib develops, atrium doesn't contract, so blood within the left atrium is not pumped into the left ventricle, back pressure increases, leading to exudation of fluid in the pulmonary capillary alveoli, leading to acute pulmonary edema. This sudden onset will be there. So these three causes you should remember with respect to PND, paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. So if this is there, this is the early feature of congestive cardiac failure. The patient is going into failure, any disorder it might be. The patient is going to failure. Okay, what is the most common disorder cause of PND? Nothing but our favorite mitral stenosis. Okay, so here what happens is the NYHA class is class 3. Okay, nice. So this is PND in short. Nice. So next, what other postures you can assume? Like the patient will be like, see, he's happy if he lies down, and he's too sad, he develops shortness of breath if he sits. So what's happening here? It's an interesting symptom, like it is like abnormal, na? So what's happening here is a tumor of the atrium. It's like if he changes his position, this tumor goes and blocks the heart. It's hanging in the left atrium. If he changes his position, it goes and locks into this mitral valve orifice. So now it is contributes to sudden onset dyspnea. At the same time, this patient lies down. So what happens? This mass, hanging oscillating mass, it goes up. It doesn't block the mitral valve. His shortness of breath is relieved. So this change of posture contributing to dyspnea, you should remember, you should have one thing in mind. One is left atrial myxoma. This is a tumor of the left atrium blocking the mitral valve orifice, leading to dyspnea symptom. What more is there? Then, if this is it, we call it as platypnea, meaning a patient is happy when he sleeps and develops shortness of breath if he sits. That is platypnea. Then, what is tripopnea? This is nothing but same left atrial myxoma. What happens is if it turns to one side, it might be blocked, leading to dyspnea. If it turns to other side, no dyspnea will be there. So same causes you can remember for platypnea and tripopnea. So what more can cause the same symptom? See, this is a hanging oscillating mass. What can form in mitral stenosis? Dilated left atrium, source of stasis, blood clots can form. This blood clots can get block the mitral orifice at one particular posture. So this also you should keep with respect to posture variation, left atrial thrombus. Okay, so see how interesting is a simple symptom from patient will make your clinical diagnosis more interesting. Okay. So yes, follow us on all social medias, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApps. We'll be actively discussing among these kind of clinical scenarios, and that brings us to the end of the session. So if you think our sessions matter you and our hard work matter you, so if you can definitely subscribe us by pressing the bell icon niche, and the links for the previous videos are put in my description. You can watch it, as well as we will be coming with some interesting other symptomatology in the next section. Okay, till then, bye bye.